I should give you a tour of Walter's new deck. After all that shenanigans with all that metal tubing and holding things up with brackets and whatever, I went simple. Simple is best. Let's see if I can scooch down here. 2 speaker pods. Where's my finger? There's 2 little speaker pods, which actually sound really, really good. I've added side sonar, and then my encoders are done and brilliant, and they work so good. They work perfectly. They don't skip a beat. And then here is the rear of Walter. This is the new PCB stack I made. Keyboard and mouse and Nintendo, and they share the same 4 data pins. And what I can do is, the keyboard and mouse have pull-up resistors, and I can turn those on or off here. So I could turn off the pull-up resistors, and there's not a conflict when using the Nintendo. And then I actually even broke those 4 pins out again, and I'm glad I did, because right now I am using them for serial communication to my MP3 player. There's my MP3 player. I actually have both players on here. I was using the Wave player here, and every Wave player I tried had a pretty horrible startup click. You can hear the speakers click, and I didn't like it, and so I left it on. But I mean, I left all the connections. Everything's there. I mean, you can see, like, there's the caps, and there's a little resistor that has to do with the audio circuit, and here's 4 audio pins out. So I still have that, but I'm just it's kind of future-proofing. I don't know if I'll ever use the Wave player off of the prop. Here's my XB, but what's cool is, to deal with the metric pins, I have the SparkFun metric to SAE adapter, little breakout board, and if you'll notice underneath, ta-da, there is an I/O expander, I2C input-output expander. This guy is 8 inputs. 4 of them come from these lovely input buttons, and then 4 of them actually pick up 4 of the general use I/O pins on the XB, so I can get a hold of those pins for free without wasting propeller pins, because it's I2C. Here's all my inputs and outputs, obviously, and then there's one more which is pretty snazzy, and it's those 2 pins right there, and those 2 pins work off of one of the general I/O pins on the XB, and it basically means that I have the closest thing to a hardwire connection from the transmit XB to the receive XB. If I make the corresponding pin on the transmit XB high, then this pin here, again, corresponding pin on the receive, will go high. And that pin goes high, those pins go high, and eventually it will go to a relay down below, and I have a final ultimate kill switch, basically. I energize that pin, and a normally closed relay opens, kills power, done. And I'll probably do a loop to itself, so when it clicks, and actually clicks, opens, but when it's energized and the circuit is broken, it will in turn energize itself and stay open, period, until power is shut down. And that's just a really nice, awesome fail-safe. So if this thing ever goes to an elementary school or something to show off, and I fry a MOSFET like I've been doing left and right lately, one big button on my transmitter, big red button, click, stop, dead, will be dead until I walk over to the robot and make it not dead. Cool little metal plate I fabricated with my power switches, data, servos, television, big switch for motors. Ta-da-da-da. There's a servo here on his head that I put for future proofing. I always figured there's going to be a camera or a sensor up on top of his head, and I just made this little block because it's prettier. And I stuck my Bluetooth inside the head because, well, Walter doesn't look too bad with an antenna sticking out the back. He's okay. So, so there you go. There's a quick Walter update. We're getting there. There you go.